I think we're live. Maybe. I think we're live. Okay. Sorry, I was looking at something. I think we're live. I'm not 100% sure. Can anybody confirm they can hear me? Is my microphone working? Okay, so it is working. Okay, well, a lot of things have changed since my last upload, and I'd like to start this off by saying the system in the Caribbean had its chance dropped for formation. Models have randomly and very suddenly been showing less organization of this system, which is pretty surprising because it had a ton of consistency with a very strong system hitting Cuba, and now it's showing a very weak system hitting Cuba and posing much less threat than before. And the National Hurricane Center even dropped the potential for it to form from 30 to 20%. But there is a disturbance that could impact Bermuda that will likely form over the next day or two. This will likely become our next named system, Epsilon. And if this disturbance in the Caribbean forms, that will become Zeta. So that was very sudden, with models completely dropping that potential Zeta system. So that's interesting, to say the least. The National Hurricane Center, the Storm Prediction Center, does have a marginal risk for southern Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, northeastern Arkansas, southeastern Missouri tomorrow, with a 5% hail risk. That's the only risk at this time. So maybe some isolated hail. Otherwise, no other risks are in the area. Next week, the northern third of the United States could see some severe weather, depending on what happens with those potential systems that roll through. And if we look at the GFS for this tropical system, the latest GFS run, 12Z, you can see no development of any kind in this run, from what I see. Little to no development of that system. And in the second latest run, 06Z, it does have it minorly developing and impacting the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, where that L1007 is, but it really poses no other threat to any land. And if we look at the new version of the GFS that got released on Pivotal, you can see this one has some development, a very weak system hitting Cuba where the L1000 is, and going along the coast of Florida as, I would say, at most a low-end tropical storm as it pushes northeast. As it pushes northeast, you can see it strengthening off the coast of Florida and then weakening as it moves into cooler waters. So some models still have some development of that potential Zeta system, while some do not have any kind of development. And if we look in the northwestern Atlantic, you can see that potential Epsilon system that will likely be a subtropical storm, where that 989 is as it pushes towards the United Kingdom. This system, Epsilon, poses little to no U.S. threat. It's mainly a Bermuda threat. And if we look at the regular GFS for that system, it has it making a direct hit for Bermuda and pushing off to the northeast. And Invest 94L, which is that potential Epsilon system, model guidance has it becoming a tropical storm. There is some potential for a hurricane. I do not see anything above a Category 1 hurricane, though, from potential Epsilon. In Tampa, it depends on what happens. If that potential Zeta system actually does form, you could see some minor impacts, potentially, but it's very uncertain at this point. Model guidance has completely broke off from that system. And some potential potential Epsilon could take. None of it have it going into the United States. This will pose no U.S. threat, but Bermuda should watch closely. And it could become a problem for Europe in the long run. And that's our only invest in the Atlantic right now. Bermuda could potentially get hit really hard by Invest 94L, which would become Epsilon if named, which is very likely, because National Hurricane Center mentioned subtropical depression or storm is very likely to form over the next day or two. And there are no disturbances in the other oceans. And if we look at the GFS for long range in the whole country, not just for tropical systems, you see some potential snow tomorrow for Iowa, northwestern Illinois, potential snow. but a bigger snowstorm could happen in northern Minnesota and northern Wisconsin that could bring 2 to 4 inches of snow to those regions. And more snow in Minnesota, the Dakotas. Once again, more snow in the Dakotas, Minnesota, non-stop rounds. Jamaica could see impacts from potential Zeta, though it's very uncertain right now at this point with models. And you see a big line of storms moving through the United States October 27th, some of which could be severe. And then that transitions to snow on the back end, bringing snow from Louisiana to the mid-Atlantic, though this gets pretty far out, so don't count on anything. Don't count on anything past the 200 hour. And if we look at total snow for the entire period, out until hour 240, you see over 2 feet of snow possible from Montana into Minnesota, and a small corridor of 6 inches of snow possible in the Tennessee Valley area. Though don't count on that one. And if we look at the other GFS, that does not show that potential snow in the Tennessee Valley, but it still has that potential for 24 plus inches into the Montana into Minnesota. If we look at the Climate Prediction Center, the Climate Prediction Center has much below normal temperatures favored from October 24th to October 27th, from Montana into Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin, the Dakotas, Minnesota. So you should watch for much colder temperatures in those areas. And if you look at the day 6 to 10 outlook, much below normal temperatures are favored in the northwest into the Great Lakes. And the darkest blue you see there is an 80 to 90% chance you will see below average temperatures. Same thing goes for the red, except for above average temperatures. New York might not have an early winter. It might even have a late winter, actually. The 8 to 14 day outlook is pretty much the same exact thing as the 6 to 10 day, except the probabilities are lower, which means there's a little more uncertainty involved. And above average precipitation is favored across most of the United States, with the exception of Texas and New Mexico, where slightly below average precipitation is favored. So much of the United States could see above average precipitation over the next couple days. And for the 8-14 day, above average is favored for the Great Lakes into the northeast and portions of the northwest, while below average are favored in the south and north central United States. And for week 3 to 4, which is October 31st through November 13th, above average temperatures are favored for the west and below average are favored for the southeast for temperatures. And precipitation, below average precipitation is expected across most of the United States from October 31st through November 13th, and there is some small potential for above average precipitation in the northwest. So the beginning of November will likely be very dry for a lot of people. If you are watching the stream, make sure to like it and subscribe if you aren't already. And if you so desire, you may donate. If you want, you don't have to. Hurricane season did not break the record number of names yet, I don't think. I think it still has like 2 more names to go, which could happen in the next couple weeks. Then we would tie in that case. What's your question? The 1 month outlook for November. This is the November outlook for right now from NOAA. Above average temperatures are favored for much of the United States, particularly in the Northeast and the Southwest. And below average precipitation is favored throughout much of central and southern United States, particularly in the Texas region. And the white you see there is equal chances for near normal. And the 3-month outlook, which is winter, I believe. Yeah, winter. Above average temperatures are favored for much of the United States, excluding the northern Great Lakes region, with below average precipitation favored this winter for the south and above average for the north. I don't think the storm in the Caribbean will form into a major hurricane. It may form into a tropical storm at most right now. Model guidance really completely dropped that system, and not very many models have it forming anymore, which is weird. Yeah, we should still be on alert for hurricane season until November 30th, though hurricanes can happen after that period, though they are very rare. And I also have a video coming out around November 30th-ish, give or take, depending on what happens. That's going to be like a 20-minute video, a little mini project that will be released around that time period. And the global tropics outlook, I don't think it updated since my last stream, but there's high confidence on tropical cyclone formation in the Caribbean. And below average rainfall off the coast of Africa. Yeah, I don't think it updated since my last stream. The drought outlook. It's possible for a hurricane to form in December, but it's very rare. This is the drought monitor. The latest one. And you can see much of the west is very, very dry, and northeast, while the south is remaining wet for the most part, not dry. California, Arizona, pretty much all the southwest is in a severe to extreme drought. And portions of the Northeast are in a severe to extreme drought as well. And even portions of the southern Great Lakes in Illinois, Indiana, there is a moderate drought. You don't have to worry too much about that system in Jamaica at this point with how model guidance is, but you should still watch closely. The drought outlook. The drought will likely persist across much of the country. In the Northeast, a drought is expected to remain but will improve, and drought development is likely in Florida and all of Texas. From October 15th through January 31st. No hazards with snow as of right now. Listed. If we look at the GDPS model for snow, from now until October 28th, according to this model, though it gets pretty far away, 24 plus inches of snow are possible in the mountains in Wyoming, Montana, and potentially much of Minnesota could see over 2 feet of snow in the course of the next 240 hours. And next year's tornado season, or severe weather season, it could be above average. This year, 2020, severe weather season was very well above average for the first half of the year, but very well below average for the second half, which is interesting. But next year, I think it's going to be just generally above average for the whole year. But a million things could change by then, and it could be below average as well, depending on what happens, but I think it's going to be above. And according to the GDPS model, the latest one, it has that system developing that may impact around the Miami area and the Bahamas and Florida as a weak tropical storm as it strengthens, and it could impact coastal North Carolina if it can get close enough, according to this model, as it pushes northeast. The ECMWF has no development of that system whatsoever, not a single bit of development, so that potential Zeta system in the Caribbean could form, or it might not form, because model guidance is now split instead of consistent, which kind of sucks because now it's even more unpredictable. I'd rather have it be predictable than unpredictable. Let's check out the NAM run, 12Z1. Yeah, these models definitely favor a good 2 to 4 inches of snow in the Dakotas into northern Wisconsin and Minnesota. So if you live around there, you should watch out for that snow over there. The latest NAM model has everyone over there getting about 6 to 8 inches in that pink, and in the darker blue around 2 to 4 inches. So a couple inches of snow is likely from a corridor from the Dakotas, southern Minnesota, and northern Wisconsin. Where that pink is has the highest confidence for you to see over 4 inches. Focus is mainly turning over to snow over the next few weeks as hurricane season will start to calm down, and it's already calming down for the most part, with only 1 or 2 systems right now that could potentially form, with the second one having a very low chance to form, and we could see maybe 1 or 2 other systems form this month, besides the 2 that are highlighted right now. So we'll see what happens. It's definitely possible we could see a couple extra tropical systems before the season ends, and we probably will see a couple extra. And this year, for generally winter, there will likely be above average snowfall for all of the northern third of the United States, from Washington and Oregon to Illinois, Iowa, to New York and Massachusetts. The entire northern third of the United States will likely see above average snowfall. Let's see what the ECMWF has to say about snow. That's interesting. As snow as far south as Texas, this model and run, which the other models do not show. This is one model showing it, so it's unlikely. But it still has that consistency of 6+ inches of snow in Minnesota and northern Wisconsin. It's very, very, very rare for it to snow in Florida. I don't know if it's ever snowed in Florida before. I would imagine it would have, like, once on the panhandle of it. because I would imagine the Panhandle would see snow every once in a while. The last time southern Florida got snow was in 1977, I believe. 1977 and then 1899 were the last two times central to southern Florida saw snow. So, like 40 years ago and then like 100 years ago, 120 years ago. So it's very rare. Very rare. Yeah. 1977, 1899. That's crazy how rare that is. It's only happened twice, recordedly twice. And they generally stay kind of warm in winter. Not cold, generally, but they stay usually cool to warm, not hot though. Yeah, I think the very northern tip of Florida, like at the very, very, very top of it, is the most likely to see snow, which is still rare to happen. So Florida is very rare to snow in. Happened twice in southern Florida in recorded history. Central New York. Right now I'm thinking that central New York will likely see above average snowfall this winter. I would imagine there would be average temperatures and above average precipitation because above average snowfall. The temperatures should be generally around average for you. But you'll likely see multiple nor'easters that push through. Portland will probably get very cold at times. I believe below average temperatures are favored for you this winter. Same thing with above average precipitation. Yeah, if we look at the 3-month outlook, around the Portland area, below average temperatures may be favored. There's about a 40% chance of below average temperatures happening this winter with NOAA's latest outlook. If you are new to the stream, like it, subscribe if you aren't already. I'm just going over some stuff with weather, snow in the tropics. Yeah, I think we'll likely see Tropical Storm Epsilon by midweek before Wednesday. Pretty sure we'll see it before Wednesday, because it's definitely likely to form. All models point to it developing. And as for the Caribbean system, it really has until the end of the week to the early next week to form. And if it does form, it will pose a threat to Cuba and southeastern Florida. And not much of a threat, if any, but it will still be a threat. And if you don't know already, if you haven't seen the community tab post, I do have a little mini project, I guess you could say, that will be released around mid to late November. I would actually release it later than that if I'm being smart about this, but I want to get it out around mid to late November, and I'm already working on it now in my free time. Right around when hurricane season ends, it will likely be posted. And it will be about a 15 to 25 minute video-ish. And it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be a pretty cool video that some of you might like. Yeah, this winter I believe it's going to be very cold in Portland. Below average temperatures are favored. Today it was snowing where I live. It was supposed to rain, then it transitioned to snow, and then it transitioned back to rain. No accumulations happened because it was a little too warm on the ground. But be on the lookout for that little project video that'll be released mid to late November. I'll probably finish the video way before then, but I want to wait until mid to late November in case something else happens. The Caribbean storm, models just stopped showing it straight up. That's really what happened. There's no consistency anymore with it. There'll likely be multiple blizzards this year, since above average snowfall is favored for the northern third of the United States. So, definitely will be at least a couple blizzards this winter. I'm gonna take a look at the GDPS for that potential tropical system in the Caribbean. No, I don't want plus, even though that would be nice so I don't get your stupid ads. Yeah, you see this model run, which is only one, has a potential system forming off the coast of central Cuba, a weaker one. And I think the lag stream lagged a little bit. I think we had 3 or 4 major hurricanes this year. I don't know the exact number. It's either 3 or 4. I think it's 3. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think it was 3. Pretty sure it was 3. So that Caribbean system is a maybe right now, but that system next to Bermuda is pretty much a guaranteed formation of some sort of a subtropical system that will likely be named Epsilon, which is our next name on the list. I don't know what else to go through right now. I think I went through just about everything. Pretty sure. I would like to say that, we hit 5,000 subscribers a couple days ago, I think, so thanks for that. There are some other people out there who, it's weird. But I hit 5,000 a couple days ago. Not today, I did it a couple days ago. One day we'll pass 10,000, but not anytime soon, though. But one day we definitely will. Yeah, the 2005 hurricane season was much worse than this one, pretty sure. Especially in the early season, which had Category 5s, I think. Yeah, GFS hints at some potential development for another system in early November, but that is way too far out to really talk about right now. How many subscribers would I want? I mean, however many people want to watch me and get aware of weather stuff. So I'm mainly here just to provide weather updates for people who don't understand models or don't see what's coming, basically. And I just bring awareness to potential events that could happen. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, 5,000 subscribers is a lot. I remember getting excited when I hit 100 subscribers. Never would I have thought I would have got to 5,000. Because 5,000 is a lot. Also, another thing. My schools have been in the hybrid plan lately. And this week, we are going fully in person. So, video uploads will be slowed down slightly. You won't really notice. Actually, you probably won't notice. But videos might be like a little later, released later in the day at like 9 p.m. Central Time instead of like 3 or 4 p.m. Central Time. And going fully in person puts me at higher risk of a little virus called COVID. So hopefully I don't get it. If I do, video uploads will probably be slowed down a lot more. But I shouldn't get it. I hopefully shouldn't get it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything much else to talk about. I went through the tropics, snow, potential severe weather. I think that's about it. Yeah, predictability is too low for days 4 to 8 for severe weather. So severe weather could happen. I don't see anything above a marginal low. The Midwest could see a severe weather, very minor, isolated severe weather event on around the 22nd to 24th, around those dates from what I've seen. Nothing higher than the marginal will happen. It will be stay marginal if a risk is even issued. But isolated severe thunderstorms are definitely possible in portions of the Midwest around the 22nd to 24th. Which I think is day 4 or 5. Or day 6, I think. I think it's day 6. No, day 5. No. Yes, day 5 to day 7 is what I'm eyeing out right now. Day 5 to 7. And the Storm Prediction Center does mention weak instability would keep any threat marginal. It won't be anything above a marginal. I can 99% guarantee you that. It won't be anything above a marginal. But a marginal could mean 2% tornado, 5% wind, 5% hail. There's a lot of models spread, and they mention predictability remains quite low. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that for potential multi-day marginal risks. Note that does not mean any kind of outbreak or anything. A marginal risk means isolated severe thunderstorms, which, like, in here, if you go to day 2 where there's a marginal, that 5% means you have a 5% chance to see said hazard within 25 miles of a point. So that's actually quite a low chance. But I think that's really all I have to go through right now. Yeah, that's funny. This winter I'm going to be having a lot more winter forecasts. I'm predicting snowfall totals. My scale goes from less than 1 to 3 inches, 3 to 6 inches, 6 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 plus inches. And I should be making snowfall forecasts soon, by the end of November, depending on when snowstorms come along. No, I'm still in school. I mentioned earlier that I'm going fully in person. I'm still in school for the next, how many years? What year is it? 2020. What year do I graduate? I don't know. I can't math. I can't do math. I don't English either. If you couldn't tell, school didn't teach me much. But I think I graduate like in 2 years? 3 years? No, 2 years. No. 2 to 3 years. I think I graduate in 2023. No blizzards expected in Portland, Oregon right now. High school is really not that bad. But I do graduate fall of 2023. Yeah, fall of 23. Probably later in winter, Portland will probably see blizzards. My high school gives a whole lot of nothing for homework. We do not get much homework, if any at all. So that's nice. Yeah, we don't get much at all, if we even get any. Sometimes we get literally none. Because I'm pretty sure my school believes that homework doesn't help kids. Yeah, I think I went through about everything I need to, so I might end the live stream here. This live stream will be uploaded on the channel if you want to look back at it and watch it again if you want, if you missed anything. Sorry, I'm just really confused right now. Since I have full in-person schooling, uploads, if any, will be later in the day. Not like 3 or 4 p.m. Central Time. It'll be like closer to 8 Central Time. My next video will probably go over Epsilon. Not today. Maybe tomorrow if it forms. So I'm going to end the live stream here. Goodbye. Have a good day.